Absolutely. Good question. So firstly, the very first thing that we do within our audits is looking at list growth, your subscriber opt-ins. There's a massive gold mine of data that you can collect from it, as well as growing your database. People always, we know DTC brands, and nothing against them, I would operate in the same way. They want to beat their current email database dead with repeat purchase type of prompts and messages. And they tend to forget about top of the funnel. Like, you always need to fill the bucket from the top. So that's the very first thing that we look at. Now, the one, let's call it the constraint that I'm seeing within the industry, is that people are very focused on their store, and I have a pop-up on my store or the checkout, and that kind of drives my subscriber list growth. No, people need to look outwards. Your social channels, co-marketing efforts, lead gen ads on Facebook, Meta, or wherever. So that's the one thing that we look at. And also, the other challenge with list growth is iOS 15 privacy settings, where people block tracking scripts. So a lot of the times these opt-in forms don't trigger. And yeah, we want to respect people's privacy and so on. But there's a ton of tools out there, the Little Data, Elevar, BlackRow, they all try and make these things possible. That's the very first thing that we look at. The second thing that we look at is if it's retention, if people come to us very much, hey, I need to increase my repeat purchase revenue. Then, of course, we absolutely look into flow automation, because that drives a ton of this. Now, flow automation, we can talk about flows within Klaviyo or Yotpo for the next 90 minutes. But a couple of areas that we look for: your post-purchase flows. What is that experience like? If it's a brand that is very reliant on product adoption and habit formation, people need to use the product in order to want to purchase again, we ensure that that post-purchase journey is very sound and solid. Habit formation messages, customer support check-ins, the list goes on, even making returns easy and possible, and so forth. What we then do is we then also look at your replenishment flows. Now, again, we can talk about this one for years. Depending on your strategy, sometimes it's a subscription product or business. Then we look at unpacking your subscription flow or messaging integrations. Have you set up your upcoming order emails? Are you upselling in it, cross-selling in it? Have you set up a surprise and delight touch point where, after X amount of orders, we'll send you a little incentive or value add? I know Dira Dry used to do this with us, where, so what they do is they encourage people to stay subscribed, and then at order 5, we only then give you some sort of a cashback or discount. Okay. So you can dangle the carrot. Is it an ugly marketing tactic just to get people to constantly stay subscribed? We market
what is ugly.
What is ugly? What's not ugly? It works. My wife does a loyalty program work. I hate them. My wife only buys if there's a loyalty system. So they do work.
I think when you're working in marketing, you just become susceptible to any offer ever. You just don't trust any offers for the right reason. So I'm the same as you, but similar thing at home.
That's right. You start to hate your own type. That's very true. And then the third one, of course, so flows, we can go on for days. The third one is also, I think, reporting analytics is also an area that is severely lacking. I know you guys have a super product that allows people to plug their unit economic data into the system, all the different channels. I cannot tell you the amount of times, and D2C brands, for those people listening, there's no clear dashboards in place. If you ask them, hey, can you please give us access to some BI dashboard? They usually don't have anything, or they've got some sheet sitting somewhere, or they've got something that's stitched up by some cousin that did it for a cheap job. So that's the one issue. Also, not using the data correctly. The tools out there, like your tool, StoreHero, Lifetimely, Peel, there's many out there. And I know, of course, sometimes it's just another tool that just spits out raw data. But you need to understand some of your retention metrics, your cohorts. what is the typical buying behavior of someone buying this sunscreen? So if I buy this sunscreen, what is the pattern of people buying the second product once they've bought the sunscreen? If you can understand that connection, your upselling, cross-selling becomes a little smarter, because we see a lot of brands, the mismatch in replenishment messaging is a very big mismatch. You've purchased this, now go buy this. Like, no, dude, the complementary of that is just a horrible pairing.